Hello guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. My name is Ashutosh Sudhakar Bhakre. I am a director and the trainer at Unnati Development and Training Center Private Limited, which is situated in Aurangabad. So we are back with a very interesting topic for sharing the knowledge on System D. We all know System D. What is System D in RHEL or Linux? How it works? Today I am going to discuss how you can create a container using System D. So how you can run a container using Podman as a System D unit file. Okay. So before we getting into that, let's have a quick understanding of how a System D unit can be created in a very basic manner. Before going forward, let me clarify the prerequisites. So this video considered that you already had a Linux knowledge, you know how scripting works and the systemd works, right? So I'm going to create one basic command called myping.sh here and trying to ping google.com. That's it. So you can add your custom commands, you can add your custom program, whatever you want. So as a part of basic example, I am taking this ping stuff, right? So let's verify whether it is running or not. Yes, the script is running. Now what I want to do is, whenever I do a systemctl start with a specific service name, it should start pinging my google.com, or it should call this myping.sh. So there are various places where you can create a systemd unit, but in this example I am using this common location which has your units and the target files. So let me create myping.service here. So this service file has basically three sections. One is unit, second is service, and third is install. These are the three major sections of your systemd service. So unit defines maybe a description, what sort of systemd service is. So I'm saying, okay, testing ping, it could be any description. Then you can put or you can control the behavior, like after which service or before which service it should start. Network dot target. So I'm considering that my ping should obviously start after a network dot target service, right? Then you have exec start. You can mention exec start or exec stop. So exec starts means what program it should execute, which program it should execute when someone say systemctl start. Exec stop means which program it should execute when someone say exec stop. So I can say usr bin bash. I am calling a script. The script name is myping.sh, right? You can add a username also here. This is very interesting. Let's say I want to run this system unit as that specific user, maybe my user 1. You can do that. But while defining the user, please keep in mind that if by any chance the commands are privileged or the script has a privilege command, you have to add that user as a sudo access. That's the basic of Linux, right? So I'm not adding any user here, but I'm trying to simply start a myping.sh command. Then I can simply say wanted by, that is the installed section is all about multi-user.target. So this is a basic example which runs the myping.service. So if I see, you can simply see that the service is active, running, and you can see the logs also here. Very simple, right? That's how you can create a systemd unit or systemd service for your specific custom application. Now, as the intention of this video is to deal with a container, right? So you should have a Docker or Podman, whatever you like, you should have that installed. So in my scenario, I have Podman already installed. So I'm going to write a service which should start a specific container. Okay. So let's consider that I will be starting or running a container with my test name. The name of that container is my test. So first of all, I will do a cleaning up activity. I will write a script which cleans up everything. So just in case if that container already exists, you can basically use podman stop. Please note, I'm considering that my container name is going to be as a my test. Okay. Podman rm my test. So I'm just cleaning up my previously running container if there is any. Let's execute this. Let's give a permission. Let's try to execute it now. So of course, it will throw an error because we had not run the container so far, because we didn't use podman run command, or even we had not added our systemd. So let me add a service called mypodman.service. So just to avoid, or in the interest of time, let me copy so that it will be very easy to edit. I will copy my previous example. So I'm saying testing. You can again have a same network.target for after stuff. Now what it should execute. So when I say systemctl start podman service, it should run podman container, right? We all know that podman run is a command which takes care of it, right? So as discussed, I'm assuming that the name of the container is my test. I'm doing a port forwarding here. I know my image which I'm going to use, which is HTTPD, is basically configured to run on port 80. That's why I did 18080 is my host port, a local port, and 80 is my containers port number. Then you can put exec stop. What it should do. So here I'm calling my cleanup script, right? Bin bash root cleanup.sh, right? This is how it runs. Now you can, as discussed, you can define a user also, because you know the advantage of podman is it supports a rootless container to be, or you can run a container as a non-root also. That's the advantage of podman. So you can put a username if required. But here the podman command is a single time execution, right? So one more thing needs to be added is a type. I'm saying type is forking, right? Forking is a type basically which tells your systemd that process is still running. Parent process may get exited, but my process is still running. That's why you're defining it as a type forking, right? So let's save this and let's try to. So I'm just doing daemon reload. So, and I'm simply saying start my podman. So the expectation after this is it should run a container. Let's see what status says. You can see that you can enable this also for after boot. You can see that it is. So in the previous screen, you can see it was disabled. Now it is enabled, right? So will I able to see my container? Let's see podman ps. I can see that. So if I stop, what should happen is, let's see. I should not able to see my. Make sense? So in this way, you can basically create your own service which has a Podman stuff. Let's verify if I can access it from a remote host. Yeah, I can easily access it, right? So it is not only running, we need a port forwarding also. So in this way, you can easily run a Podman daemon, Podman container as a daemon, right? Very, very easy stuff. I hope you got the logic and you really like the video. Please don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel. Please like this video. Please do share this video on your social medias if you really like this video. If you have any comments, any suggestions, or if you're looking for any further videos based on any new topic, please put it in the comment sections. We will be happy to record a video on that said topic and share it across. So before winding up, just want to clarify, you can use Podman generate command. Sorry, this is very interesting logic, guys. Podman supports generating the systemd unit so that you don't need to do a hard work. So for example, let's say Podman create. So what is the difference between Podman run and create? Podman run runs a container. It gives you a running container, right? But Podman creates will create a container in a non-running state. Like for example, I'm using mytest2 and let's use a image called docker.io OpenShift hello OpenShift. So I am saying I want to have a container which name is mytest2 and it is using a image called OpenShift hello OpenShift. So of course the image is not present, so it is trying to pull. So if I do Podman ps, of course I will not able to see that container in a running state because I said create. So either I can use Podman start mytest2, I can use that. See, it is in running state. I can even do stop, and surprisingly you can generate the systemd details. So you simply say generate systemd -- restart. You can put a policy also. I want it to be restart always -timeout 1. So -t stands for timeout. You can do docker stop -t1. So Podman stop -t1. So by default Podman uses 10 seconds as a timeout, but if you want to customize, you can use -t option. So I'm saying mytest2. The moment you say Podman generate systemd restart policy and a container name, see what happens is cool. So it gave you the entire ready-made systemd file. So you can simply copy and paste it on your systemd file. It becomes a service. These are the advantages of running or of having a Podman generate systemd command. Cool. That's all from my end, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Once again, if you really like the video, please comment, please like, please share, and please don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel also. Keep learning and keep growing, guys. All the best. Bye and take care.